Hey everybody, Ghost Cat here. Have you ever been going after one of those unidentified signals like that one behind me, and you either end up coming home with half a ship, or when you get inside, you find that your assault may have been a little, too effective? Well, if you're anything like me, you've been there at least once or twice. So, come with me as we take a tour of a fully intact Factorum facility. I know this guy named Tom O'Malley, who, may have shown me a way in where they can't tell you're there. So, come with me and check it out. And remember, for more Space Engineers content, do the things. Yep, you know the ones. As we approach the Factorum Storage Facility, one of the first things you'll begin to notice is scattered debris. There is some amongst the asteroids as well as some out here in front. This first bit out here you're likely to encounter is labeled as the debris lure in the game files. It contains an antenna and a broadcast controller, as well as a sensor, so that when it detects an enemy, it turns on the antenna and they will send reinforcements, which you can see over here. However, I'm in super sneaky mode, so they can't see me. Over here, adjacent to the debris lure, is another collection of debris that appears rather nondescript. However, if you approach, one of these tubes contains one of those Factorum homing missiles I'm sure many of you have found in your investigations, while the other contains a drone that will come looking for you. There's also a cargo container in this grid right here that may or may not contain goodies. There is another similar collection of debris on the far side of the asteroid, however, from my experience, that one only contains a single missile and not a second drone. As we approach closer, we can see that there is quite the collection of debris floating amongst the rocks. It appears to be the remnants of several different ships and maybe a few pieces of station. This larger piece down here is labeled as the debris station. It's large enough to where you can land on the little catwalk and head on in and take a look. There isn't a whole lot in here. There's a bed, some random bits and bobs. You've got a couple places where various goodies might be stashed or stored. There's also a second floor, accessed using the ladder, and back there you can see that there's some freight containers that may or may not also contain goodies. Moving closer to the base, it's careful to watch out for the collection of mines hidden amongst the debris. There's one right there, and I know that there are several others scattered about. If you get a little bit too close, they will trigger and explode, which can cause damage to your ship as you're trying to creep in and gather some prototech. Additionally, as you approach, there are also two defensive emplacements that are defending the main installation. One of them is up here around the main asteroid, and this one contains an artillery turret as well as an interior turret down here, while the other one can be found approximately opposite this one, hiding on one of the adjacent asteroids. Let's head back to the main entrance, shall we? As we approach the main part of the installation, we can see that down here on the bottom they have a beacon with a decoy next to it. Up here, there is a Gatling turret emplacement. There's the main door, and there is a man door that appears to have some damage to it, with another decoy placed above. Entering through the man door, we find that off to the left here, we have a couple of storage racks, and off to the right there are some lockers that may or may not have some tasty goodies in them. Heading down the hallway and to the right, we find ourselves coming out onto this walkway that runs along the edge of the main hangar. Be careful coming through this doorway because there's an interior turret off to the left, as well as a drone that will drop out of the ceiling, as we will see shortly. Heading to the right down the hallway takes you to another storage rack, as well as an observation port that looks out the front of the station. Heading the other way down this walkway deeper into the base will bring you down to a T intersection, where if you go left, you will find an airlock that's no longer functional, as well as a small habitation area that could be fixed up and used by an enterprising engineer. Heading in the other direction, we find the main hangar, which we'll come back and explore in a bit, as well as another flight of stairs that heads up into a control room. This button here is labeled Open Hangar, and when you press the button, the door of the hangar goes flying off. And right there you can see that drone that has just dropped down. He's got a spotlight on looking for whoever's in the base. However, he can't see us because we're in sneaky mode. Coming through here, there's another rack with goodies on it, as well as a cargo crate that can also contain goodies. In this case, there's one of the very rare Prototech frames. We can head up this way, along the walkway on the other side of the main hangar, and here we can see the top of what appears to be some kind of machinery that we'll take a look at in a minute. And here's an antenna that will continue to summon reinforcements if it is not handled promptly. But now that we've seen the rest of the base, let's head down to the fun bit, the main hangar. Coming down the stairs, in this version of the storage facility, we find several stacks of barrels as well as another cargo crate in the center of the hangar. While down here, there is what looks like a large shipping container with a cargo container inside, as well as some freight containers. Over here, you can see what everyone wants, the Prototech. This version of the storage facility contains a small grid Prototech jump drive, and behind it you can see some more storage barrels and a storage rack here, while on the other side of the main hangar there is a Prototech assembler. I keep saying this version of the storage facility because there is a second version which contains a regular assembler, and instead of the Prototech small grid jump drive in here, it contains two small grid batteries of the Prototech variety and a large grid Prototech jump drive. Additionally, over here to the right, you can find a large cargo container which often contains all kinds of goodies for you to use in your adventures. Well, everybody, I'd like to thank you for joining me today on this little tour of the Factorum Storage Facility. She may be small, but she contains plenty of goodies, and she has potential for use as a base by an enterprising engineer. Next time, we will take a look at the Factorum Outpost, another base that is small, yet contains tremendous goodies for those who find their way inside. If you want to make sure to catch that video, you know what to do. So, until next time, as always, have a great day.